Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're gonna dive into the 17 lies. Maybe 2 or 3 videos back, I had mentioned the 17 lies narrative that's often spouted by a lot of rabid royalists when it relates to Meghan and the Oprah interview. And a couple of you in the comment section requested that I do the video debunking these 17 lies. So let's get into it. Now, for those of you who don't know, the 17 lie narrative originated from, surprise, surprise, Piers Morgan. Now, this is the same Piers Morgan who has been obsessed with Prince Harry since he was a young child, and also the same Piers Morgan who has been obsessed with Prince Harry's now wife, Meghan, long before she even met Harry. This is the same Piers Morgan who walked off the job when he was challenged for being an obsessive bully. This is the same Piers Morgan who said that he was thanked by members of the royal family for challenging Meghan, for trying to make her life a living hell. And just a few months ago, we finally got a good idea of who that person could possibly be. Piers and Jeremy Clarkson, who is another notorious Meghan hater, was seen partying with, surprise, surprise, Camilla. So, yeah, the 17 lie narrative was created by Piers. So let's get into it. The first lie was supposedly about the secret wedding. Now, the running theme that I've noticed when paying attention to the narrative surrounding Harry and Meghan is that the royalists and those within the UK tabloids love to pick apart specific parts of a sentence or a statement by Harry and Meghan, twist the narrative, and then amplify it over and over and over again. So that becomes the running theme. That becomes a thing that sticks into the mind of the masses, and you completely forget or negate the most important aspects of what they're trying to say. And this is no different. Now, in the conversation with Oprah, Meghan had shared that they had had their own little private ceremony days before their official wedding. And I don't feel like a lot of people know this, but originally Harry and Meghan had requested a smaller wedding, and that request was denied because, of course, there's public interest. People want to know, who is Harry marrying? They want to be a part of it. They want to see it. So this is what we got. Big, grandiose royal wedding, but Harry and Meghan initially requested a smaller one. So with all of the drama surrounding the wedding with her father, with Kate and the stockings and the bridesmaid dresses, the press intrusion, I remember they were already starting to put out those very racially insensitive and racially charged articles about her. So it really is no surprise that Harry and Meghan decided to just have a personal, intimate gathering with them and the Archbishop, exchange some vows. It's not legal, but it was personal and special to them, much like people who share their vows on a beach somewhere when they're on vacation, and then, they fly back home and make it legal. It's the same thing. Now, the second lie is that Archie has a birthright to be prince. How is that a lie? How is that a lie? And now we see that it has been made official that Archie is a prince and Lilibet is a princess. But there's the whole convention that was there. And remember, Meghan talked about them wanting to change that convention, but it is his birthright. The next one was that Meghan had not seen Samantha Markle in almost 20 years. Now, this is an ongoing thing with the court case with Meghan and the audacity of her half-sister to claim that somehow Meghan is saying things that are untrue about her, even though, I mean, the proof is all there. The only connection that she has ever been able to show to her and Meghan meeting or having any sort of relationship is one grainy photo of her years ago, at least over a decade ago. So how is that a lie? Again, a big nothing burger. There's a very lengthy interview of the younger daughter and Samantha's mother talking about that, saying that Samantha never liked Meghan. They didn't have a relationship. And that was a long-standing thing. There's even a video of the other half-brother talking about that relationship or lack thereof. And this is one of the reasons why every time, you'll see a royal troll on social media saying, she lies, it's 17 lies, 17 lies. And every time I ask them, hey, okay, what are the lies? They can never really answer. They usually ghost or they try to deflect with some other nonsense. Because as we're seeing, we're like, 4 lies in? And none of these are lies. These are things that have easily been disproven, or things that they have twisted to mean something entirely different to what Meghan actually said. Now, the next lie was the newspaper held the story about Thomas Markle until the Sunday before Meghan's wedding. That's not a lie. They did. And it's not like we haven't seen the way the tabloids work. They get a story, they have the information, and sometimes they keep it and barter it for bigger, more embarrassing stories for someone else. We've seen what they do with Harry and William. You can go in on Harry. Here's this titillating story about Harry. If you don't talk about this story, that could be damaging to William. And tied into that, the 6th lie is that she lost her father, who had staged photos. How on earth is that a lie? Do they have a relationship? No. Now, the 8th lie was that Meghan never researched the royal family prior to joining. Now, how can anyone ever know what someone Google searched or didn't Google search unless you have access to their phone? It's beyond me. While a lot of us Google things, I kind of understand her thought process with that, because being in the public eye, now she wasn't in the public eye to the degree that she is now since marrying Harry, but she was a star in her own right. And even if you're not a star and you pay attention to the media, you know that oftentimes the things that we read are narratives that are created by PR people, created by the media, and oftentimes there's a great disparity between the things written about someone and the actual person. This is someone that she's going to marry. This is someone that she fell in love with. This is someone that she gave up her lifestyle and all that she knew to join him, to join his world, to join his life. The person that she would ultimately start a family with. So if you really want to know someone that you're going to hitch your wagon to, there is nothing a Google search would tell you that would prepare you for that relationship. You need to have those conversations and have those experiences with that person. So I understand her not researching any more than the average person would research. She knew who Prince Harry was. Obviously, we all know who the royal family is. But there's a difference between reading about someone on Google and actually getting the real. Actually getting to know them. Actually getting to hear their story from the horse's mouth. I mean, if you really think about it, for those of us who have read Spare or listened to the audiobook, it is insane the differences between a lot of the narratives surrounding Harry and his family that we have all been fed over the years versus the reality of the situation. So many of it is lies. So many of it are PR opportunities, stories being bartered and traded to make certain people look better. Sometimes Harry and even William were thrown under the bus for good press for Camilla and Charles. Sometimes William would throw Harry under the bus to deflect from not so great stories about him. So the argument that Meghan never researched the royal family before joining it just doesn't stand up, because as we can see, doing Google searches would not have prepared you or would not have prepared her for joining that family. Actually interacting with people within the family, actually having conversations and spending time with Harry would be a better approach to it. So again, another lie debunked. Now, the other one was that Harry was financially cut off from the royals. How was that a lie? Was he or was he not financially cut off? Anybody? Yes? Yes? So saying that he wasn't cut off? Yes, he was. And we know this. So again, that's just another nonsense, non-lie lie. Good job, Piers. Now, the other one, I believe this is lie number 10. Help for mental anguish. So Meghan talked about her mental health struggles, and boy oh boy was that sad and triggering. And Piers is saying that Meghan is lying about her mental anguish. Remember, he did the whole spiel on the show saying, "Oh, I don't believe her, she's lying." But here's the thing, we have a video or audio recording of a royal reporter, Valentine Lowe to be exact, saying that they had known that Meghan was having a really hard time, that she was always in tears, that she was deeply depressed. That's on audio.
I'm Valentine Lowe. I write about the royal family for The Times. I think there were two key moments. One is her describing the fact that she was suicidal at times, had suicidal thoughts. I knew that she'd had a very bad time in the summer of 2019. I knew there'd been tears. I knew she'd been in a state of distress. I even actually knew about that conversation she had with the head of HR.
Completely correlates what Harry and Meghan said. They reached out for help repeatedly. Harry did, Meghan did. They went through the proper channels. Total neglect. He spoke to his father and brother. Again, nothing. So this is yet another lie, completely debunked. Now, the 11th lie was that the couple witnessed racism inside the monarchy. Now, this one is interesting because a while back when Harry was talking to, was it Michael, in an interview? Or I can't remember which one, but one of the interviews. And they were talking about racism and unconscious bias. And this is where I disagree with Harry. Yes, unconscious bias and racism and bigotry and whatnot, it's all closely related, right? But here's the thing, they're conscious of it. So for me, it's not unconscious bias, it's the hard R word. But then let's talk about the situation with Archie. Now, the media love to talk about, or the royalists as well love to say, well, you know, everybody was concerned or everybody is curious about what a kid looks like, but missing the point entirely. Meghan said there were concerns and conversations. People seem to ignore the concerns part, right? So concerns and conversations about what Archie would look like and what that would mean for the monarchy. Why, pray tell, would anyone have concerns? You can have conversations about what a kid is going to look like. Interracial couples, it makes sense. But even if you're not an interracial couple, it's a thing that most people are curious about. Are you going to look like mom? Are you going to look like dad? Whose eyes are you going to get? The usual. The key word here is concerns and what it would mean for the monarchy. How is that not racism? Now, the 12th one was that Kate made Meghan cry before her wedding to Harry, and we all know that she did. Harry verified that Kate did indeed make Meghan cry, and she did indeed apologize. Now, the other lie was that Meghan's press team didn't defend her when things weren't true. And again, this was discussed in Spare, and we've gotten a lot deeper insights into that situation. And to be clear, her press team really didn't defend her. Harry defended her, right? Remember when he put out that statement and Harry made it known after the Oprah interview, during Spare and all those other interviews, that it wasn't Kensington Palace who did that. In fact, they didn't want to do that. That was at Harry's insistence. Now, the 15th one is that the palace lies to protect other members of the family. I mean, duh. There are so many instances and examples of this given throughout the years. And I'm not just talking about from Spare or from the Harry and Meghan docuseries. There are multiple documentaries with royal reporters over the years, long before Meghan even came onto the scene, who has openly said that the palaces do indeed provide a lot of leaking and swap stories. We all know that that's the case. And the 17th lie was supposedly that the couple decided to leave the royal family, or when. And again, after he came up with his 17 lie nonsense, we know the more specific timeline of when they left. And we know that the Queen knew exactly what was happening. They knew. So again, the only lies that we see here is Piers Morgan coming up with these fanciful narratives.
During my research into Piers Morgan for my series, there were so many examples of Piers changing his mind or contradicting himself that I had to make a separate video. Here we go.
It's marrying into a family which has, to put it mildly, a dodgy track record on race. It's not Meghan Markle's problem, it's their problem.
Whoop, there he is in 2020 saying that Meghan Markle is using the race card. He also then claims in January of 2022 that Prince Harry is the only racist in the British royal family. Okay. Moving right along, this article from November 2016, Meghan and I chatted for 90 minutes, long enough for me to get a good insight into the new royal girlfriend. Quote, Meghan's got beauty, brains, charm, and a great sense of humor. She's also an ambitious, hardworking, and talented actress with an impressive passion for things she believes in. Another quote, Harry, ignore all the poisonous rubbish you are reading or hearing about her. Meghan Markle is perfect princess material. Whoops, December 2018, Piers Morgan, Meghan Markle is a ruthless social climbing actress who has landed the role of her life and is determined to milk it for all she can, and that's why the palace is beginning to turn on her. Talk about all that poisonous, vile rubbish that you told Harry to ignore. This one is incredible. May 2018. Piers Morgan, Meghan's foolish father has no one to blame but himself for missing the biggest day of his daughter's life. 1 month later. I've changed my mind about Meghan's dad. He's just a shy, decent man struggling to deal with the mayhem of his little princess marrying a prince. Piers Morgan reveals the inside story of his incredible scoop. Here's one from September of 2022. Piers Morgan. Prince Harry's vow to honor his father should include dropping his salacious book and rein in Meghan Markle. So the spin here is that Meghan Markle needs to be controlled and reined in by Prince Harry. Oh, oops, December 2022, just 3 months later, Piers Morgan. Prince Harry surely knows deep down he's being manipulated by his wife into abandoning the country he once loved. So is she someone that needs to be reined in by her husband, or can she not be reined in because she's a master manipulator? And can you please stick to one storyline for the entire calendar year, dear God? So anyway, that's Piers fighting with Piers.
Okay, look, this is not my normal content. My normal content is tired perimenopausal auntie. But this is Prince Harry, and if you know me, and follow me on other platforms, you know I ride with this one right here since 2004. So, these are my takes. Some are hot, some are not. 1, William is jealous. Full stop. Full stop. William is jealous. He's more handsome. He looks like his grandfather, who his grandmother adored. He was his grandmother's favorite grandson. Not favorite son, that was Andrew, right? He's more athletic, he's more gregarious, and people generally like him more. 2, on William's jealousy. When Diana died, there was a larger portion left to Harry than to William. William had a problem with it. But William, you are going to be the king of England. Let your brother get something. That's what Diana was thinking. Okay, I have to do a part 2. I'll be back.
I've watched the 60-minute interview twice, and I've taken notes. Let's talk about it. I do wish that Harry started off with this interview to begin with. Before the Oprah interview, before the documentary, I think this 60-minute interview gives us true insight on what Harry experienced with the royal family. Before marriage, before children, before everything else. We were all shocked to learn that in Harry's book, he describes William's balding head and his appearance to Diana fading with age. Initially, that description sounded super harsh to me. But with context and with kind of the background of what his book is entailing, it makes more sense. When you're having a dispute with somebody, you do kind of hone in on some of the ugliness that's there. And I don't mean you find that person ugly, but you start to kind of see everything in a finite way. And I think a book tells a story and it kind of gives a full picture. And I think that that is where those statements came from. Watching these two grow up together, we've all been under the impression that they've always been super close. And I do think that there has been closeness there. But in this interview, Harry gives us more context in regards to their dynamic and their relationship. There was this brotherly rivalry. It does seem like William was kind of always in charge from the time that he was Harry's older brother. The brotherly dynamic that Harry describes is actually super common, I think, with a lot of brother siblings. When mourning their mother's loss, Harry felt like there was a lack of tears and a lack of truly feeling her loss right away. He said his father Charles never hugged him, but that his hand did fall on Harry's knee when he explained to him what happened to his mother. The fact that his father's hand fell on Harry's knee and Harry can remember that moment to this day is very significant because I think it just shows the lack of affection that was happening within the family, that little small moment stayed with Harry. I'm doing these in 2-minute parts, so follow for the next part.
Well, hello. The royal family are terrified to tell Prince Harry and Meghan Markle anything about the coronation, as they fear their everything's for sale mentality will lead to leaks. Not the royal family in fear of leaking. Surely not the royal family. They represent the foundation of what leaks look like. Let's hop into this article, shall we? The article starts out with, following the release of Prince Harry's explosive memoir, Spare, and his and Meghan Markle's hit Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan. I'm glad they know it's a hit. The royal family are reportedly terrified to tell the couple anything, as every indiscretion or every aside comment could be magnified in order to get them a profit, a real expert claimed. Now, if this is only an approximation by a quote-unquote real expert, then do we judge this as the thoughts and feelings of the royal family? Or could we judge this as a leakage of the thoughts of the royal family? Which further would prove my point, of course. It is the constant divide that the British tabloids are seemingly pushing out yet again. Harry and Meghan believe everything's for sale, and this mentality might be affecting their inclusion in King Charles III's upcoming coronation celebrations, the expert revealed. Frankly speaking, the last thing that His Majesty should be worried about, or the British media for that end, is Harry and Meghan, when in fact there are a series of crises going on within the country right now. Speaking to Sky News, royal columnist Louise Roberts explained that even those royals who have a close relationship with Harry and Meghan are still reluctant to share too much. Blah, 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 blah. Let's look at Exhibit A. Meghan and Harry's new house in Canada is practically a palace. This not only shows a video, this tells the location. And you mean to tell me that they are worried about leaks from Harry and Meghan when their subsequent home location was leaked, and they didn't have security? But yet nobody's focusing on that. Quite interesting. It's quite interesting how Harry and Meghan have gained financial independency from the royal family, but the media want to make it as if they need the coin from everything. They would love if they're broke. And as always, my members of my Imperial High Court, comment your thoughts below, and good day to you.
Not only is Prince Harry extremely traumatized by what has happened over the course of his life, the series of events that happened to his mother back in 1997, as well as everything that he has gone through with his wife Meghan Markle, but now Harry also has children to be thinking of, to protect, and to provide for as well. Like I said in part 1, his story is the most valuable thing that Prince Harry has. The thing that the British press and the royal family have been making millions off of since the day he was born. His narrative, right? He would be foolish, frankly, to not be milking every single dollar he can out of it. But not only that, we are witnessing a very scorned man here. He does not have very many nice things to be saying about his family and the way that he was treated by them and their behavior. Now, you better know damn well that if my family treated me the way that his family treated him, and then Netflix came to me with a $100 million deal, Oprah wanted a sit-down exclusive, or a publisher offered me a fat book advance, I am taking every single one of those offers straight to the bank. But why all of the gory details, right? Why does every single thing that we've heard out of Prince Harry's mouth over the past few weeks seem completely unnecessary for him to be sharing? It feels like he's just letting it all out. Why? Because if he doesn't, he knows that the British press, the royal family, and the firm are going to. He is not going to let them make another dollar off of his name or Meghan Markle's name without him making a dollar too. Every single one of these stories, the Daily Mail would absolutely love to be the one to break, and he's not going to let that happen. He's putting it all out there so that the narrative is in his court, not theirs. This is very high-level public relations we're witnessing here. It is essentially the equivalent of a celebrity leaking all the nudes in their camera roll so that a paparazzi isn't able to benefit or profit off of them first. He has left the royal family without a single shred of leverage over him and his wife, right? He gave them every single opportunity to stop talking about them when he moved to America back in 2020, and they couldn't drop the story. So now he's fighting. He's dancing their dance. He's playing their game, while also making sure that every single one of those paychecks that are rolling in stay fit for a scorned prince. If the royal family and the British press are all going to make money off of all the deepest and darkest stories that they have, why can't Harry and Meghan too? This is an extremely brave move. I'm going to be completely honest. Most public figures are extremely terrified of taking this move because in order for this to work successfully, you not only have to be completely honest and completely truthful about what you're saying, but you absolutely have to share every single detail that could ever possibly be used against you because it takes all the power away.
Oh, Duke of Sussex, can't you just call me Harry, Dad? We require that you vacate your British home of Frogmore Cottage. What? Why? Because of what you wrote in your memoir? We can't live there because me telling people how you ruined my childhood hurt your feelings? Partly. Oh, you are so soft. Let me guess, you're giving it back to the royal staff? No, to the Duke of York. Prince Andrew? That's right. The grand old Duke of York who touched 1,000 kids. That's quite enough. He's a paedophile. Maybe, but you married a lady. What did you just say? Oh, nothing. Just have your stuff packed by tomorrow. Oh, for crying out loud. Isn't it too close to a school for Prince Andrew? Oh, I think it's in a great location.
Are you tired of seeing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle dominate the news cycle? Are you over listening to Harry and Meghan talk? Do you wish there was a way that you could just never see content about them ever again? If so, you're in luck. It's hot tip time, and today's tip is how you can get Prince Harry and Meghan Markle out of your face. Step 1. Don't read the headlines. Every news outlet makes millions of dollars off of writing about Harry and Meghan because they're perfect clickbait. So stop reading the Daily Mail, The Sun, and other tabloids like them. Tip number 2. Don't engage in content about Harry and Meghan. There's this thing called the algorithm. And when you engage in content about a certain subject, the algorithm is just going to show you more. So the easiest way to no longer see Harry and Meghan on your For You page is to stop interacting with content about Harry and Meghan. Revolutionary. The third tip is to set up filters. You can actually filter out content based on keywords. So make your keywords Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle. You can do this on Google, you can do this on Instagram, you can do it on TikTok. I'm pretty sure you can do it on any platform. So go ahead and go into your settings and get those filters set up. And the fourth and final tip, just scroll. You heard that right. Just keep scrolling. Be like Dory. And instead of just keep swimming, just keep scrolling. As a little reminder, no one is forcing you to look at or engage in content about Harry and Meghan. You're doing that willingly and actively. So if you never want to hear from or about them ever again, follow those 4 simple tips. If you do want to see more Harry and Meghan content, be sure to engage in this content by either following, commenting, saving, or sending it to a friend. Ta-ta!
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.